A single mom opens an OnlyFans account to pay rent. Then she posts an Instagram reel, asking you to check the link in her bio. The video finds you, right? She's there basically chanting, "Hey, for $4.99 a month, you get to see my pussy." And you, yes, you, with all your might, you sprint to the comment section to type something like, "OnlyFans detected, STD suspected." That's what we're diving into in today's episode. So buckle up, as we unpack why we chastise OnlyFans agents as immoral or unrespectable, while still gleefully scrolling through provocative TikToks. From suggestive twerking challenges, to see-through outfits, to even full nude mirror reflections, cat wheels with no bras, 0.01 second flashes, and more. Today's question is, why do we shame OF creators for quote-unquote selling themselves? This video indeed takes a deep dive into the sociological and psychological factors behind this phenomenon, examining cultural norms around sex work versus performative sexuality, also on the role of platform legitimacy and monetization. Not only that, but also differences in framing and intent, audience psychology like moral licensing, compartmentalization, voyeurism, etc., and the influence of media narratives and capitalist dynamics. I know, I just dropped a dictionary on you, but don't panic. We'll break it all down in plain English and make them make sense. Just the truth, the TikToks, and the tea. Don't sweat it. See, the thing called prostitution, or more formally sex work, has historically, I'm not talking about 2025 here, historically is the key word. Sex work has historically been highly stigmatized, with sex workers enduring labels of loose woman, lady of the night, streetwalker, working girl, candy girl, labels like thought, which is short for that hoe over there. Sociologists note that the whorephobia attached to prostitution and pornography hasn't vanished in the digital age. It's simply carried over to platforms like OnlyFans. Meanwhile, sexualized performances that don't self-identify as sex work, like a cheeky TikTok, a revealing fashion shoot, which by the way is the micro bikini in most cases, are accepted as everyday entertainment. This does point to a cultural norm that draws an arbitrary moral line between sex for money and sex for show. We'll circle to that in a moment. You see, my friend, women are often expected to be sexy. Like seriously, who would want to hang around with a lady dressed like her ex still pays her rent? Like some rejected love or something. Women are more times than not expected to look sexy, but only in approved ways. In Instagram, it's seen as edgy or empowering, whereas being an OnlyFans creator is branded selling your body for $4.99. I mean, come on. Sociologists refer to this as the sexual double standard. Men and women are judged differently for the same sexual behavior. Women in particular, who openly commodify their sexuality, often face harsher judgment. People of all genders still tend to view casual or public sexual behavior as more acceptable for men than for the GirlBosses. This means a female creator who profits from erotic content crosses the line in the public's eyes in a way a male in the same position might not. For instance, one analysis highlighted how a male OnlyFans star's success was met with congratulatory praise of like hustle and blessings on buying his third home, yet a baddie announcing she bought her dad his first car with OnlyFans earnings received a flood of insults. And a quick reminder, girls, yes, it is painful to be the official call girl of your hometown, but $250,000 all while you sleep. I mean, I will let you decide. Going back to today's TikTok and Instagram stars, a 14-year-old gyrating to a viral dance challenge might be seen as participating in a harmless trend, even if the dance is overtly suggestive, like ending with you dropping into a full split twerk, or booty movements classified in 12 states. You know, because it's framed as fun and entertainment. In contrast, if that same woman charges subscribers on OnlyFans to watch this same video of her where only a pillow and belt is the outfit, she has no self-respect in the court of public opinion. I don't know if you guys are trying to pick what I'm trying to tell you here. The behavior and audience are essentially the same. The only change is context and degree. This gets even wilder. One commentator dryly observed that modern culture often sexualizes women against their will, or without explicit consent, like through advertising or dress codes, etc., yet paradoxically shames women who voluntarily sexualize themselves on their own terms. Before moving on, hey guys, I have one question for you guys. I've never really understood why it is the women being recorded on adult films for the most part. Can someone explain to me in the comments? Thanks. Now coming back to the video, in some Middle Eastern and Asian societies, for example, traditional dance or dress may allow certain flirtatious expressions, but any woman engaging in open sex work would be severely stigmatized or criminalized. Even closed sex, by the way, like in some Asian countries, it is worse. You're allowed to fall in love, but only if your parents fall in love with each other's bank statements. And even in relatively liberal Western countries, a clear boundary is maintained between acceptable sexual entertainment and the seedy sex industry. One kind, performed within approved contexts like film, music, or social media trends, is normalized, while the other kind, explicit sex work even online, is marked as deviant, even though both cater to the same human fascination with sex. You feel me? Before I ask you if you're subscribed, did you know that TikTok's own algorithms have often pushed suggestive videos to virality? And it's acknowledged that quote-unquote maximizing user engagement and traffic often takes priority over stringent content filtering. That's literally what they had to say on it. They walk a tightrope, allowing just enough sexy content to keep users hooked, but not so much that they lose advertisers or invite regulatory crackdowns. Like if you're male and single watching this, have you ever asked yourself why your whole Instagram feed, like if you look at the For You page, it's all kinds of here I do squats, but somehow it's filmed at Gucci level in 4K? Or to sound more diplomatic, what we can call algorithmic confusion, like thighs, leggings committing sins. Like just walking, but somehow the camera's following only the ass, like there's this kind of dynamic zoom on the jiggle. A vibe like she's just working out, except it's filmed like a trailer for a fitness-themed OnlyFans. It's confusion because you don't know what you're watching. Is it a dance trend or petite girls doing things to cucumbers? Is it a school punishment, or is there a deeper focus with the camera angle at her bottoms, or upskirt they call it, well, the most barely legal? It is like the filmer knew what kind of algorithmic engagement they were aiming for, not for the school punishment at least. Zhuangzi, the ancient Chinese philosopher, once dreamt he was a butterfly, but when he awoke, he wasn't sure if he was a man who dreamt of being a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming of being a man. His point? Reality is fluid. Identity performed. Now think of digital platforms. Are creators performing themselves, or performing what the algorithm rewards? Zhuangzi would probably scroll through TikTok today and ask, is this liberation, or just a prettier cage? 2,000 years ago, Zhuangzi asked, are you dreaming the world, or is the world dreaming you? Today, I ask you, are you posting, or just performing for the algorithm? Tell me in the comments. Alright, let's talk money now. Many people who would never openly pay $15 for someone's nude pics on OnlyFans feel just fine double tapping a bikini dance video on TikTok. Paying for sexual content triggers the social taboo of prostitution, sex for money, whereas consuming sexualized media funded by ads feels more socially permissible. The consumer isn't labeled as a Muhammad or client. In other words, society prefers its sexual titillation, served with a side of plausible deniability. How I wish you understood that. And here's something 70% of y'all got wrong all along. OnlyFans creators often present themselves as empowered entrepreneurs. They decide what content to create, set their prices, and maintain direct relationships with their customers. On OnlyFans, creators have more control over their content and receive a larger percentage of the profits compared to legacy adult industries like those that host adult videos. Paradoxically, however, the public often perceives OnlyFans creators as having less self-agency, assuming they are coerced, desperate, or otherwise forced into it. Critics frequently cast queens who run OnlyFans channels as victims of circumstance. One common trope is, she must have low self-esteem or no other options. Like seriously, you see her taking picture of her lady zone with no panties on, obviously, and showing it to a guy being aired on a television show who will later smile, and you're there thinking, she must be uneducated or lacking self-respect to do such work. But boy, people who choose to create content on OnlyFans do so of their own volition and have the ability to set their own boundaries and rates. Quick vocabulary boost here though. Volition is the power or act of making a choice or decision on your own. Kinda like free will. In contrast, a young woman posting sexy TikTok videos might not have nearly as much control over how her image is used or perceived. She's at the mercy of an algorithm and public trends, yet people are less likely to question her agency. They assume she's just having fun, jumping on a viral dance. They don't usually say, oh, that poor girl, TikTok is exploiting her for clicks, even though arguably the platform is benefiting from her free labor. Thus, there's a curious inversion. OnlyFans performers who often assert strong personal agency,
I'm selling what's mine on my terms,
are painted as lacking agency, while TikTokers who often follow crowd trends are seen as freely expressing themselves. This ties back to framing. OnlyFans is framed in the context of sex work, where society historically denies women's capacity for autonomous choice, whereas TikTok is framed as social networking, so participants are assumed to be regular folks in control of their posts. Why do thin creators all copy one another's trends? Something like, this doesn't beat the salt transition, or something like, you copied so-and-so's trend, at least give them credit or tag them. It's simply because we don't have it under control. In most cases, when you post your own idea, like in this one, you get like 10 views. But when you try to replicate a viral idea or 100x outliner,
FBI, open up!
you get the drill, don't you? I wonder how consumers reconcile the fact that they like watching sexy TikToks, perhaps even watch corn, yet still feel okay shaming OnlyFans creators. I wonder and get scared. I wonder why a TikTok user can have a public profile and openly follow certain trendy creators without stigma, While OnlyFans typically involves more anonymity, like using screen names, private accounts, because people don't want to admit they're paying to watch someone masturbate. This video was actually 3 times longer than this, but I will stop here and release the other parts after a handful of likes. If you wanted to continue while we talk about capitalism's two-faced role, global perspectives, compartmentalization, and voyeurism, please leave a like to inspire me make the other parts on this topic. If you do not need the conclusion, please go ahead and watch the video on the top right corner of the screen right now. You'll thank me later. But if you demand a conclusion like a toddler who skipped the plot and just wants the ending, this is it, listen up. The acceptability of sexual content hinges on context. If it's on a mainstream platform framed as entertainment, it's normalized. If it's on a dedicated adult platform or overtly for sale, it's shamed. Context shapes whether something is seen as empowering performance or degrading sex work. By recognizing this factor, we hold up a mirror to society's hypocrisy. Understanding is the first step to change, and perhaps, in time, a more consistent and empathetic view of sexual content and those who create it will prevail, bridging the current double standard. Thank you so much really, for watching to the end. Until the next one, keep smiling.